Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be looking at the League's Season 24 update. This is going to bring some new weapons into the game and obviously the inclusion of the same old when it comes to the tokens and stuff. It doesn't look like there's going to be any real changes to the tokens. Let's get into the info. And the intro says League Season 24. League Season 24 begins Monday. Below are the paragon mods, 5-star weapons and other rewards that can be found with the upcoming refresh of the League missions and season store. Please note, when the season store resets on Monday, June 27th, the new exclusive 5-star Elusive M4 Carbine will be delayed and should appear within 24 hours of the start of the season 24. I think we've actually had this happen once before, where a weapon or something didn't come out until a couple of days in to the store. So the first weapon that we're going to look at is not going to instantly be in there, but like it says, it should be arriving fairly soon. And that first weapon is the Elusive M4 Carbine, and visually this is what it's going to look like. I like the looks of it. It looks actually pretty nice. It's got a nice like blue kind of like painted feel to it with the like, I don't know, yellow lines in it. I don't know, visually I like the looks. Can't complain too much about the visuals. And when we look at the stats, we can see in slot 1 it has 30% HP. In slot 2, it has a huge bonus to AP when being attacked. And in slot 3, it has an improved version of Elusive Impair. When being attacked, a 60% chance to impair the enemy and gain Elusive for 3 turns. This is obviously a much bigger increase in the percentage chance. Your base Elusive Impair has around about a 35% chance to impair an enemy when being attacked. This means more often than not, when being attacked, you're going to actually impair somebody, and impair on attack teams is normally pretty rough. It used to be quite nice, honestly, because you could do attack while impaired, but that's just not a deal anymore. In the fourth slot we have increased HP for all teammates in a line by 12%, and this can be decent depending on the character that its hands are in. But overall, this weapon as a 5-star weapon is gonna run into similar issues that a lot of the League's weapons have, where it has a couple of things that you need to do to it, and obviously because it's already a 5-star weapon, you can only upgrade it 3 times, and there's maybe like 2, maybe even 3 slots that you want to either increase or change here. And you know, when you've only got 3 upgrades, that's not too great. Now if I would have just seen very small changes to this weapon to make it actually like pretty good, would just be making it 40% base HP, and that way I could choose to make it 55% HP and keep the rest as it is, which I wouldn't say would be that great. Or I could make it 50% HP, 30% defense in the second slot, and then keep the rest. Again, not that amazing, but it's pretty decent for the stats. Or I could make it what would be like a kind of standard weapon that I think a lot of people craft when it comes to Elusive Impair, and that would be making it 45% attack with 1% HP upgrade, make it 30% defense, obviously putting 30% defense on them, that's 2 upgrades, and then in the last slot just switch out the HP to a line of teammates and change it to a 50% reduction in critical hit damage. You can craft this weapon in the armory, and I think the stats come out either exactly the same or slightly less in this case. The only difference is this would be an improved version of Impair, whereas the normal Impair weapon in the armory is, you know, just lower chance to actually proc. So now what you've got to do is you've got to choose, do I want a lower chance to actually proc the Impair, or do I want better stats on my characters? Defense teams can get nuked real hard, so actually having good stats is really important. The Impair is nice, but I don't think it's that important. This could become a really good weapon for a character that comes out in the future that has very specific passives, like a very specific passives in the way they work. And you could potentially just make it 40% HP and 30% defense, or 45% HP. It's not going to be great, but I think for newer players this is actually a pretty solid weapon. I think for veterans you probably got something crafted that's pretty much better, except for the 3rd slot, just because of that 60% chance. But is it worth sacrificing tens of thousands of stats for an increase in the chance to actually proc Impair? But at least it's a step in the right direction. This is definitely better than previous League Store weapons. I think just like I say, 1 or 2 5% improvements on that first slot would have made this actually a usable weapon by a lot of people. Now the next weapon, you can see the visuals as is standard, because I think they got the screenshot from in-game. I guess the first weapon isn't even screenshotable in-game yet. That's why they wrote the stats. You can see it's Lily's defensive assault rifle. It has got 35% defense, a very large bonus to AP when attacking. When being attacked, a better chance to heal one other teammate by 35% max HP, and in every turn heal one teammate by 25% of your missing HP. This is peak League Store, but while I don't think this weapon is by any means worth picking up, it could be a collector's piece for some people out there because it is a Telltale weapon. It is Lily's weapon, and if you didn't get it, I believe it came out with the S-Class character way back when. Was it in an event, or it might have actually been in a League Store originally? I can't remember, but this weapon definitely has that come out before. I apparently do not have it, so I think it was more RNG, or I had to choose between this weapon and something else, which is probably the case. I had to choose between this weapon and maybe like some trainers, or this weapon and maybe even some S-Class cards. But if you didn't get the weapon, now's your chance to pick it up. For collector's piece, like I say, it isn't really usable. Honestly, you can maybe use it on like SR. So if you did miss out on that weapon, which I apparently did, you want to pick it up now for sure. If you are a collector of Telltale stuff, this is another one. Now here's the details of the League Season 24 store when it comes to the other goodies. It doesn't look like anything's changed. 2,500 TWD gold medals. You can claim this up to 6 times at 3.5k season tokens per claim. And then next up we have the gold mythic tokens. You can claim this up to 8 times, so that's going to be 2 pulls on the gold mythic wheel. Not that much, honestly, considering all the changes that have been made. And that's going to be 3,000 season tokens per claim. And then the next one is going to be the actual Elusive M4, which is 40,000. And then Lily's assault rifle, which is 20,000. So if you were going to do it for a collector's, piece as the Lily's assault rifle, it's not too bad. 20k is not too expensive. The Elusive M4 Carbine price 40k. I'd say it is, like I said, one of the best weapons that's been in here for seasons, but that isn't really that hard to take that award, if I'm honest. But this weapon's okay. I mean, it's just maybe missing out on a couple of 5%, like I said. And then if we scroll down some more, we can see that we can get some silver mythic tokens and then gold salvage tokens as is usual. 15 silver mythics in here, so if you are running short on those silver mythics, happy days. And then you can get 300 of the gold salvage tokens, which I pretty much pick up every season now, just because, just doing any auto farming on the world map is very useful for sure. And they always bring around those events where you have to do crazy amounts of farms, so it's good to have a little bit of those in stock. And next up we have the League Season 24 missions, and it's going to be pretty much what we've had in the past. You can see you have to collect 1 tournament seal, and you do that in the actual League store itself. Make sure to do that if you are in Diamond. And you can see that the paragon mod this season is going to be a confuse resist paragon mod, which I believe would be 90% resist. So that's actually pretty decent. You also get to choose the set as well. And I'd say you can't really make a wrong choice here. Defense, HP, crit damage, or attack. Confuse resist is useful on all of them, but probably a little bit more useful on a defense team just because of trader. You can put on that key character that you definitely don't want to be confused. Let's say like a William, and that way he can resist the confuse and cleanse the rest of his team with his rush. So that's it for League Season 24 and the season store. There isn't any update to the actual League store, and I think that's one of the things that a lot of people want to see. A nice update to, just having a bit more like recent items. I think a lot of that stuff is from the 6-star era pretty much. But like I said, the weapons look potentially decent. There's a collector's piece in there if you are a Telltale fan, and there's a pretty good weapon if you are newer to the game or you don't have the best defensive tough weapons. But even if you do have the best defensive tough weapons, it might even be worth picking up just because you never know. There could be a character that comes out, like I said, with decent passives that makes that weapon useful, and it's not too expensive, and the fact that they don't really bring out good weapons too often means you've probably got a little bit of stock on those season tokens. Like, I myself picked up the current season's Sawyer weapon just because it looked nice. Like, just because the visuals looked nice. The stats on it weren't that great, but the visuals looked nice, and that cost 40k. So I think picking up a weapon that actually has some sort of viability is a pretty good idea. But do tell me what you think about this season's League Store update. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you going to go for that confused paragon mods? Like I say, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. That is the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.